everyone. I'm Lubna Yasmin. I'm studying North South University from BSc in Economics Department. First of all, I want to thank Heritage Safeguard Mentality for giving me a chance to present the history of railways in Bengal according to one of my course, Bangladesh History and Culture. So now I want to present my slides. So by seeing this picture, you can understand what I will present today. Yes, this is history of railways in Bengal. So first of all, we should know the history of rail transport in Great Britain. The beginning of the railways using the steam engine occurred in Great Britain. By the end of the 18th century, steam engines were widely used to drive machinery in factories and pump water in mines. Though James Watt is generally known as the father of the stationary steam engine, but Robert Trevithick was the originator of the steam locomotive. So the earliest locomotive was built in 1804, but it was only in 1825 that the first train ran for the public. The first Indian railway rolled on its track just 28 years after the world's first train had made its initial successful run in England, which was built by George Stephenson and his son Roberts Company. The locomotive number 1 is the first steam locomotive to carry passengers on a public rail line. The transport of minerals, raw materials and finished products, which was so far limited to the power and speed of the animals, was now taken over the steam locomotives, and the Industrial Revolution got into its stride. By 1830, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway in Great Britain had set the pattern for land transport for the next 100 years all over the world. So this is the picture of steam locomotives, and this is also a picture of steam locomotives, and now it is housed in Darlington Railway Centre and Museum. Why the railways came to Bengal from Britain? The British, that is Great Britain, came to India as traders. Thus, historical circumstance made them its rural. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, the English East India Company had succeeded in establishing its authority over the major part of India. With this started the colonial exploitation of the British in India. Till the last decade of 18th century, India had been a source of luxury trade goods for Britain. Took interest to develop the hinterlands as raw materials producing areas for British industries, mainly due to the pressure created by the Manchester and Lancashire textile mills. And it became important to link this hinter with the ports, that is Madras, Jaipur, Cochin, Kolin and Mangalore. So for this important reason, Britain gave importance to railways over other means of transport from the economic point of view came to be realized during the middle of the 19th century. And there may be objectives or exploitation of the natural resources in the India and the consolidation of the British Empire. Certain kinds of goods like salt and sugar could not be carried in the west season because of the inconvenience of transport. Considering the greatest extent of India's vast plains, the low value of land, cheapness of labor and general facilities for producing buildings, the railway promoters in England brought political and economical pressure on the East India Company to introduce railways in India. The British decided to construct the light railways of tramways to carry the forest wealth to the nearly main lines. So now the policy that the engineer took to set up the railway. After conducting a year-long survey of landscape possible roads and profitability, McDonnell Stephenson, he is a Scottish engineer, was the pioneer of promoting British railway technology in eastern India, proposed the first Indian railway scheme in 1845, and he was the inventor of East India Railway Company. In his scheme of triangulating India with railway at a cost of about £50 million, Stephenson presented an ambitious idea of setting up a vast railway network in order to connect Kolkata, Delhi, Bombay and Madras with other major towns in between. Regions east of Kolkata or eastern Bengal later to be become Bangladesh along with Assam, were excluded from the purview. So now criticism of about Stephenson. The disadvantage of excluding Eastern Bengal from the initial railway projects, however, were soon identified, and it was strongly criticized Stephenson's new East Indian Railway Company in insisting that the trade of Bengal should be considered in the future expansion of railways in India. So now the railway connection between East Bengal and West Bengal. Connecting Kolkata with Dhaka, the first railway line was opened from Kolkata to the Lower Ganga Bank in Kustia in September 1862. In 1871, the line was extended southward to the Gwalongo bank of the Ganga, with its many branches extending along both banks of the Lower Ganga, and it came to be known as the Eastern Bengal Railway. In July 1884, the government acquired the EBR, the main line that is Kolkata-Siliguri, ran across the Rajshahi Plains. But the main problem of connecting East Bengal, that is Bangladesh, and West Bengal, that is India, because of river. As we know, our rivers are ran across in north to south. So the British engineers planned to make a railway bridge for going very easily in short time, and they thought it saved money. And they wanted river governance by making Harding Bridge, that is railway bridge. So now the construction of Harding Bridge. The construction of a railway bridge over the Podda was proposed in 1889 by the Eastern Bengal Railway for easier communication between Kolkata and then Eastern Bengal and Assam. In 1902, Sir F. J. E. Spring prepared a report for the bridge on a bridge. A technical committee reported that a bridge could be constructed at Sara Crossing, the Lower Ganga, between Pakshe, that is Podda district, and Bharamela Upazila, that is Kustia district, stations on Broad Gauge Railway from Khulna to Parbatipur Upazila. The construction of the bridge started in 1910 and finished 2 years later, and it was opened for March in 1915. So this is the picture of Harding Bridge, and this is the picture of the construction of Harding Bridge. So now the impact of Harding Bridge in water system. Number 1, the northwestern segment connecting between Kolkata to North Bengal of Bangladesh of the EBR contributed to the deterioration of the water regime of northern Bengal by the way the railway exposed. The main EBR line, that is Kolkata-Siliguri, ran across the Rajshahi Plains. Railway bridge interrupted the natural drainage of the country, causing a blockage of a great volume of water, and the effect of which was the complete destruction of almond paddy, the only subsistence crop of the land during rainy periods. So the less of water for surviving our agricultural economy, farmers were using the underground water till today we are using. As a result of the price of crops were increasing. Lots of oil was being consumed to extract water for the underground. Our country was suffering from major natural disasters due to the withdrawal of so much water till now. So the soil would remove the water from the underground, and the building would collapse in various places, and it is continuing till now. So this is the picture of underground for using cultivation, and this is the picture how to raise water from the ground. So finally, we understand that construction of railway in Bengal, it is improved our transport system and saved time, saved money, but we have lost our river, ruined the beauty of river, reduced agricultural development, and it disrupted our ecological imbalance. As a result of ecological imbalance, it happened until now. So that is warming up the atmosphere causes calamities like flood, hurricanes, cyclones nearby the oceans, and higher atmospheric temperature increased evaporation of water from the farms, reducing crop yield, and so on. Thanks. Thank you for giving me a chance to present. ধন্যবাদ।